सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। शंकर गुरुदेवा वंदे शंकर गुरुदेवा पावन चरणा तोरे करुणा ज्ञानामृतपूर्णा वंदे शंकर गुरुदेवा नित्य निरंजन सत्य स्वरूपा प्रत्यगात्मने आनंदरूपा नित्य निरंजन सत्य स्वरूपा प्रत्यगात्मने आनंदरूपा नीडे घनज्ञाना बोधा नीडे घनज्ञाना बोधा ಬೇಡುವೆ ನಿನ್ನೋಳು ಶಂಕರ ವಂದೇ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರುದೇವಾ ವಂದೇ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರುದೇವಾ ಆತ್ಮಸ್ವರೂಪವ ಬೋಧಿಸಿಯನ್ನ ಮುಕ್ತ ಮಾಡು ನೀ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುದೇವಾ ಆತ್ಮಸ್ವರೂಪವ ಬೋಧಿಸಿಯನ್ನ ಮುಕ್ತ ಮಾಡು ನೀ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುದೇವಾ ನಾರಾಯಣ ಪಥದ ಬೋಧ നാരായണപഥദാ ബോധ ಬೇಡುವೆ ನಿನ್ನೊಳು ಶಂಕರ. ವಂದೇ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರುದೇವಾ. ವಂದೇ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರುದೇವಾ. ವಂದೇ ಶಂಕರ ಗುರುದೇವಾ. ಓಂ ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣಾಯ. 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 ಓಂ ಯಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾ ವರುಣೇಂದ್ರರುದ್ರಮರುತಃ ಸ್ತುನ್ವಂತಿ ದಿವ್ಯೈಸ್ತವೈಃ ವೇದೈಃ ಸಾಂಗಪದಕ್ರಮೋಪನಿಷದೈಃ ಗಾಯन्ति ಯಂ ಸಾಮಗಾಃ. ಧ್ಯಾನಾವಸ್ಥಿತತದ್ಗತೇನ ಮನಸಾ ಪಶ್ಯन्ति ಯಂ ಯೋಗಿನಃ ಯಸ್ಯಾಂತಂ ನ ವಿದುಃಸುರಾಸುರಗಣಾಃ. ದೇವಾಯ ತಸ್ಮೈ ನಮಃ. ದೇವಾಯ ತಸ್ಮೈ ನಮಃ. Let us chant from verse number 30. प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च कार्याकार्ये भयाभये बन्धं मोक्षं च या वेत्ति बुद्धिः सा पार्थ सात्विकी. यया धर्ममधर्मं च कार्यं चाकार्यमेव च अयथावत् प्रजानाति बुद्धिः सा पार्थ राजसी. अधर्मं धर्ममिति या मन्यते तमसावृता सर्वार्थान् विपरीतांश्च बुद्धिः सा पार्थतामसी यया धारयते मनः प्राणेन्द्रियक्रियाः योगेनाव्यभिचारिण्या धृतिः सा पार्थसात्विकी तु धर्मकामार्थान् धृत्या धारयतेऽर्जुन प्रसङ्गेन फलाकाङ्क्षी धृतिः सा पार्थराजसी यया स्वप्नं भयं शोकं विषादं मदमेव च न विमुञ्चति दुर्मेधाः धृतिः सा पार्थतामसी. The subject matter under discussion is pravritti marga, the karma yoga sadhana. So what are the aspects which a karma yogi has to pay attention to? This is the topic. So we have discussed jnanam, karma, karta, and then buddhi, dhruti, and now the sixth topic is sukhaṁ, happiness. What are the three types of sukhaṁ mentioned in the scriptures? So let us chant verse number 36. Sukhaṁ tvidanim trividham शृणु मे भरतर्षभा अभ्यासात् रमते यत्र दुःखान्तं च निगच्छति सुखं त्विदानीं त्रिविधं शृणु मे भरतर्षभ अभ्यासाद्रमते यत्र दुःखान्तं च निगच्छति. Yes. So Arjuna, idanim, now trividam sukham shruno. Now listen to these three types of sukham. Sāttvic, Rajasic and Tamasic sukham. Now what is the common feature in all these three sukham? Abhyasat ramate yatra. In all these three sukhams, when there is abhyasa, when repeatedly you do it, you get addicted to it. Whether it is Sāttvic sukham, Rajasic sukham or Tamasic sukham, repeated doing, what will it lead to? It will lead to addiction. Abhyasat ramate yatra. And dukkhantam cha nigacchati. There is dukkha antam. All the three sukhams, they are capable of putting an end to dukkha. So these are the common features of all these sukhams. Right. Now Bhagavan takes up the Sāttvic sukham. What is Sāttvic sukham? Verse number 37. Yattadagre vishamiva pariname mritopamam tat sukham sattvikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam yattadagre vishamiva pariname mritopamam tat sukham sattvikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam. Yes. Tat sukham sattvikam proktam. That sukham is called sattvikam. What is its nature? Yat agre visham eva. In the beginning, agre, what is its nature? It is visham. Visham means what? Poison. Agre visham eva. It is like poison in the beginning. But pariname, in the end, what is its nature? Amrutopamam. It is like amrutam, nectar. This is the nature of Sāttvic Sukha. In the beginning it is like poison, but in the end it is like nectar. Right. So, what kind of Sukham is this? All these Sukhams which we experience in spirituality is of this nature. Agre, how is it? Visham, like poison, very painful. Very difficult. For example, everything which you like in spirituality, you have to give it up. Sense indulgence, we love it. Spirituality says sense discipline is the way. Now, is it Visham or Amrutam? In the beginning, for a person who is addicted to sense pleasures, it is like Visham only. Especially you see these people who are addicted to drugs and drinks, etc. That initial stages is very difficult. But pariname, it is Amrutam. So sense indulgence, withdrawal from that. Mastering the mind. It is agre visham, very difficult. Right. Going out is very easy. Extrovertedness is very easy. But in spirituality you have to go within. Very difficult. Bringing the mind back, withdrawing the mind from the world of sense objects, withdrawing the mind and turning it within. Very difficult. That's why Bhagavan says, what does Bhagavan says? I don't remember now. Kaschid dhiraha pratyagatmanamaikshat avritta chakshuhu amrutatvam icchan. Very, very rare few people, they turn within, desiring immortality. Very rare few. Most of them are outside only, extroverted only. And you will always find people who are interested in spirituality is very less. Why there is no much interest in spirituality? This is the problem. Agre visham. Before you get amrutam, you are served visham. First step is not amrutam. So there itself people run away. In spirituality, everything is difficult. Vairagyam is difficult. Gaining right understanding is difficult. Controlling the mind is difficult. Controlling the senses, difficult. Austerities are difficult. Right. Again, walking the path of dharma is difficult. Compromising with higher values, very easy. Telling lies, dishonest, very easy. Living a sensuous life, doing whatever you like, very easy. But discipline, it is something difficult. It's a struggle. Feasting, very easy. Fasting, difficult. It is visham. Isn't it? But, and now another problem with spirituality is you have to go on striving and you don't know how long you have to strive. The result also slowly comes. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya, I must have told you, in one of the commentaries he writes, how much patience you need in spirituality? The patience of a person who takes a blade of grass and is trying to dry up the ocean. Dip that blade of grass, sprinkle that water away. Dip it, sprinkle it. In this way he is trying to dry up the ocean. How much patience is needed? That much patience is needed in spirituality. Right. That is why suddenly people have no interest in this. It is but natural, very natural. Agre visham. Even from the worldly standpoint also, any constructive thing is agre visham. Anything good. For example, you want to jog or exercise. Your doctor has said your BP, sugar, etc. is not under control. You are eating too much. So every day you must do some physical exercise. Go for walking. Now what is the first problem here? Getting up early in the morning. Visham. Yes or no? Control sugar. Don't eat sweets. Another visham. You see? Anything which is good for you is always agre visham. Anything good. Because discipline is that which brings that goodness. For an indisciplined person, disciplining is always visham only. But in the end, the result is always amritam. You thoroughly enjoy. And that enjoyment is a permanent enjoyment. Lifelong enjoyment. Pariname amritam. So this kind of sukhaṁ we can put under Sāttvic sukhaṁ. Another thing in Sāttvic sukhaṁ is puncturing the ego. It is visham. You see? The whole tapas is effacement of the ego, not boosting the ego. So in the beginning it is visham, it's very difficult. But pariname amritam. Once the ego is gone, then the mind is always at peace. Right. Where is this peace coming from? So Bhagavan says, Atma Buddhi Prasadajam. Atma Buddhi Prasadajam. Born out of Atma Buddhi. Atma Buddhi means one's own buddhi. Prasadajam. Born out of the purity of one's own mind. Born out of the purity of one's own mind. So when the mind is pure through this sadhana, that pure mind is a joyful mind. Why a pure mind is a joyful mind? This pure mind is able to reflect the ananda of Atma. A pure, clean mind is able to reflect. So that reflected happiness you experience. So there is a causeless happiness in Sāttvic sukhaṁ. You don't have to do anything. You are causelessly happy, cheerful, peaceful. No reason is needed for it. Right? So in this sukhaṁ, there is no sense contact. And there is effortlessness. Means in the end, in the beginning there is effort, but once that abhyasa has come, remember, abhyasat ramate. Once it has become a habit, by constantly doing it again and again, then after that it is effortless. So when you are doing your duty, there is a joy. When you are doing your anusthana, puja, meditation, etc., there is a joy. All these joys, when you are doing your sadhana, these joys come under Sāttvic sukhaṁ. And you will also find that when you don't do it, what happens? Every day you are doing something, one day you are not doing it, what happens then? You feel miserable. You see? That means what? There is an addiction. Sāttvic sukhaṁ also leads to addiction. What is the proof that you are addicted to Sāttvic sukhaṁ? When you don't get it, you become miserable. Right? Abhyasat ramate yatra. In fact, this addiction is a good addiction. It is not a bad addiction. There are good addictions and there are bad addictions. Getting addicted to your yoga, pranayama, puja, etc. is a good addiction. Because when you don't do it, you should feel miserable. Right? Now, this Atma Buddhi Prasadajam, there is another meaning also. What is another meaning? Atma Buddhi means understanding about the self. Prasada means clarity. So, that Sukham which is born out of clear understanding about the self. Right. So when you do this sadhana, what happens? Your mind becomes pure. That pure mind, when it turns to the self, what is the nature of the self? Sat, Chit, Anand. When that pure mind turns towards the self, it gets a clear understanding about the self. So when there is a clear understanding, the nature of Atma is Ananda, so you are able to clearly experience that Ananda. With clear understanding, Sat, quality of Sat improves, quality of Chit improves, and quality of Ananda also improves. Atma Buddhi Prasadajam means this also. Because of the clear understanding of the self, there is a Ananda. Right. In fact, it is this Ananda which inspires a sadhaka to put forth more and more effort in his sadhana. There has to be something to inspire, isn't it? What is that inspiring force? Ananda is the one. When you get greater and greater joy in your sadhana, you start putting forth more and more effort. With greater effort, greater sadhana. With greater effort, greater joy, greater sadhana. So this is an auspicious cycle again. That experience of that bliss becomes more and more intense. Peace also has got different levels of intensity. That intensity goes on increasing with sincere, single-pointed, focused, dedicated, committed sadhana. So once you are addicted to this joy, no other joy will tempt you. The lower joys cannot tempt you once you have started experiencing the higher joy, the higher spiritual joy. Right. Such a person becomes free from all kinds of worldly addictions. Right. So this method is called sublimation. What is sublimation? You are getting so much of happiness in the higher, now you don't find any happiness in the lower. So therefore, you are able to get rid of the lower, you are able to detach your mind from the lower, because your mind is tasting something higher. This is called as sublimation. So in spirituality, we don't talk about suppression. Suppression is unhealthy. We talk about sublimation. And for sublimation, this Sāttvica sukhaṁ is absolutely essential. A person who is not enjoying Sāttvic sukhaṁ, he cannot give up other sukhams, worldly sukham. It's not possible. You get the higher, then you drop the lower. It's always like that. When you are climbing a rope, what is the first thing you do? Hold on to the higher, leave the lower. Hold on to the higher, leave the lower. So it is this Sāttvic sukham which helps us in dropping the lower pleasures of the world. Very many times people do this mistake. They try to leave the lower. More focused is leaving on the lower. No focus is paid on, no attention is paid upon leaving on the higher, and then it becomes misery. Mind is craving for happiness. You are not giving the worldly happiness. You are not able to get the spiritual happiness. So then the mind gets suffocated. Neither this nor that. That stage is called suppression. Then that person becomes miserable, and then he blames spirituality. I also practice spirituality, but there is no joy in it. You understand? Problem is not with spirituality, problem is with your wrong way of implementing it, practicing it. Right. Atma buddhi prasadajam. What is the next one? Rajasic sukham. How is it? Verse number 38. Vishayendriya sanyogat yattadagre mritopamam pariname vishamiva Tatsukham rajasam smritam Vishayendriya sanyogat yattadagre mritopamam pariname vishamiva tatsukham rajasam smritam. Yes, in Rajasic Sukha, this condition is a must. What is it? Vishaya Indriya Sanyoga. This is a must. Vishaya Indriya Sanyoga means what? The sense organs must come in contact with the sense object. So in this contact, organs coming in touch with the sense object, there is a joy. Vishaya Indriya Sanyogat. There is a joy. This joy is called Rajasic joy. So in Rajasic joy, sense object is a must. When you are eating junk food, there is a joy. When you are eating ice cream, there is a joy. How is that? Where is that joy coming from? Just by imagining ice cream, no joy will come. That contact has to come, isn't it? Sense object has to contact with the sense organ. So Vishaya, Indriya, Sanyoga has to take place. Right? Any joy, such a joy is called Rajasic. But what is its nature? Agre Amrutopamam. In the beginning, it is like Amrutam. What is the end result? Pariname Visham. Just the opposite of Sāttvic Sukham. In Sāttvic Sukham, in the beginning Visham, in the end Amrutam. Rajasic Sukham, in the beginning Amrutam, in the end Visham. In the end you suffer. There is a feeling of guilt. I think I shouldn't have done it. I just yielded to temptation and did this mistake. Right? There is guilt. There is repentance. There is conscience prick. pariname visham. End, it is poisonous. It is duḥkhaṁ. That is the point. In the beginning it is sukhaṁ, but in the end it is only duḥkhaṁ. Why is it duḥkhaṁ? So Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Bala, Virya, Rupa, Prajna, Medha, Dhana, Utsaha, Hani Hetutvat. All these things you lose when you indulge in such pleasures. Adharma janita narakadi hetutvat pariname visham. So what he said, so when you indulge in such pleasures, you lose all these things. What are the ones? Bala, strength of the body. The more you indulge, the vitalities are drained away, the body becomes weaker and weaker. Sukhata kriyate rama bhogah paschadhanta sharire rogah yadyapi loke maranam sharanam tadapi na munchati papacharanam. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. For the sake of sukhaṁ, kriyate rama bhogaha, this person indulges. And what is the end? Paschat, later, sharire rogaha. So the strength of the body, bala, gone. Second one, virya. Virya means the strength of the mind. What is strength of the mind? Strength of the mind means the ability to concentrate. That is a kind of strength. The ability to withdraw the mind from any sense object. These are all different kinds of strengths of the mind. The ability to withstand temptations. They are all different strengths. So this person loses that strength. That mind is a very fickle mind, distracted mind. So that strength he loses. Bala, Virya, Rupa. Rupa means form. Right. What is this form? Of course, one is bodily form. The beauty of that body is lost with too much of indulgence. That is true. There's a shine in the body due to health that goes away. Also, a person who is an indulgent person, he will have a very repelling personality. That is also there. You can't respect a person who is an indulgent one, who is a slave to his senses. And that is expressed through his personality. The way he carries himself. So the society, for him, he doesn't get that respect from the society. You see, that is also one thing which is a human need. He doesn't get that. An indulgent, repelling personality he will cultivate when his lifestyle is an indulgent lifestyle. Prajna. Prajna means knowledge. An indulgent person will not have the subtlety in the mind to gain subtle knowledge. You see, higher knowledge, they are all subtle, sukhaṁ they are. So in this world, there is something called gross knowledge, there is something called subtle knowledge. Gross knowledge is like sweetness of sugar, etc. For that, too much of subtlety is not necessary. It's very gross. Understanding about the world, very gross. Anyone can do it. But as the knowledge becomes subtle, knowing about the moods of the mind, now these are all subtle things. Knowing about the self, it is the subtlest. Sukshmatamam it is. So when you have to understand the subtlest, your instrument also has to be equally subtle. Only a sukshma karana can gain sukshma jnana. The instrument has to be equally subtle to do subtle operations. Right? So if you have to do operation in the operation theater, the instrument also has to be equally subtle, isn't it? So in the same way, in the spiritual path, you are doing a subtle operation inside. What is that subtle operation? Knowing this consciousness to be God, knowing these thoughts, etc., to be matter. So shifting your attention from thoughts to consciousness, this is the subtle operation you do. To do this operation, what is necessary? A pure mind is necessary. Otherwise, you will not even know what consciousness is. Only in a pure mind you can clearly see the difference between consciousness and thoughts, and then shifting the attention to this consciousness. So all these things can be done only when you have a right knowledge. So such a person, a gross person, indulgent person, will not have that subtlety. His mind will be very gross. So therefore, prajna is also gone. He will not gain that knowledge. Medha. Medha means memory power, the ability to recollect. Medha Shakti, ability to remember. That is also an ability of the mind. A person who is indulgent will not get that ability. Forgetfulness becomes natural to him. Medha. Then dhana, the worldly wealth. An indulgent person will lose all his wealth. Because in rajasic sukhaṁ, what is necessary? Vishaya is necessary. Because Vishaya indriya sanyoga it is. So the sense object is necessary. And to get that sense object, what is necessary? Money is necessary. So you have to pay and get that sense object. So what is lost? Dhana is lost. Compare it with Sāttvic sukhaṁ. Nothing is lost. This person is experiencing infinite bliss, quality bliss, healthy bliss, where there is no defect for the body or the mind, etc. You see, defect-free bliss, wealth-free bliss, where there is no need for wealth also. Here, this fellow loses his dhanam also. If you are just, somebody was telling me, a few grams of drugs, it costs thousands of rupees. Nowadays, that is the age now. Drinks and all, they are old. Modern times, youngsters are getting addicted to drugs. And somebody told me, some few grams. There are so many ways to take it. He was explaining to me. Nobody will know that you are having it, because the smell will not be there, like smoke, etc. No smell, nothing. And this fellow is in bliss. What bliss is it? Rajasic bliss. You stick somewhere, it seems, above that, what do you call that? Palate. You just stick and nobody will know. He is just enjoying. For few grams, thousands of rupees. And that effect remains for some few hours. And after that, this misery only. Rain you have to take. See, dhana is gone. And then utsaha is gone. Bhagavan Shankaracharya, how beautifully he is analyzing the whole thing, you see. Utsaha. As I told you, as far as a spiritual person is concerned, without any reason, he is joyful, cheerful. No reason is necessary. No sense object is necessary. No occasion is necessary. He is by himself joyful. That is called as utsaha. What about his condition? A person who is addicted to all this, left to himself, he is miserable. He always needs some or the other sense object to get some sense tickling. Actually, this rajasic sukhaṁ is nothing but some sense tickling. That's all. Right. Utsaha is not there. Left to himself, he is miserable. He wants something or the other. That's why people, Saturday, Sunday, they go to mall. Why? Left to themselves, they are miserable. Work is not there. At least work keeps them busy. And when there are holidays, you don't have work. Left to yourself, you are miserable. Straight run to some such malls, etc. You see? This is another way in which you can measure your spirituality. Left to yourself, how much happy are you? Without mobile, without newspaper, without television, without anyone, no chit chat, you are just sitting. How happy are you? A Sāttvic person is joyful by himself. Yogarato va bhogarato va sangarato va sangavihīnah yasya brahmani ramate chittam nandati nandati nandatyeva. Yasya brahmani ramate chittam, one whose mind is reveling in Brahman. Nandati, nandati, nandati means what? It's a constant ananda. It's an uninterrupted, steady ananda. Yogaratova, bhogaratova. Whether it is in yoga or bhoga, it doesn't matter. Sangaratova, sangavihīnah. Whether he is amidst people or without people, all alone, doesn't matter. His mind is in the self. So therefore, constant, uninterrupted bliss is his experience. Whereas here, he has to have some or the other sense object. He is a slave. Now this is called as slavery. I want somebody or something for my happiness. This is slavery. He is a slave of the world. He is a slave of the mind. He is a slave of the sense objects. Bala, Virya, Rupa, Prajna, Medha, Dhana, Utsaha, Hani Hetutvat, Pariname Visham. Two more things Bhagavan adds. What is that? Adharma Janita Narakadi Hetutvat. So such a person who is constantly depending upon the sense objects for happiness, Bhagavan says, he will definitely do adharma. The direction itself is towards adharma. Why? Because now he needs sense object. Sense object can be gained only through wealth. Now, because he is addicted to sense object, he wants more and more of it. Now, the wealth, to have more and more of wealth, what you will have to do? You have to do something illegal and immoral. You have to do adharma. So, what is the result of adharma? Adharma means papa karma. What else? So, ihaloka also there is suffering. And then, paraloke narakadi hetutvat. Bas. After death also, where does he go? Naraka only. Why? Because he has done papa karmas. So that is why pariname visham. Here also he suffers. Whenever a person does papa karma, he is jailed, imprisoned, etc., humiliated, what all kinds of things. We see all this. Right? He is caught in corruption cases. And then manahani is there. A great man, famous man, popular man. This is called as visham. Right. Vishayendriya sanyoga yattadagre amrutopamam pariname vishamiva tat sukhaṁ rajasam smritam. So to compare this and the other one, Sāttvic sukha and Rajasic sukha. Now we have this Tamasic sukha. What is that? Verse number 39. Yadagre chanubandhe cha sukham mohanamatmanah nidralasya pramadotham tattamasamudahritam yadagre chanubandhe cha sukhaṁ mohanamaatmanah nidralasya pramadotham tattamasamudahritam. Yes, what is tamasic sukha? Agre anubandhe, in the beginning and in the end. What is his experience? Sukham. Very strange category it is. Beginning also Sukham, end also Sukham. Wonderful. Then I think, Swamiji, this is the best one. But Bhagavan says, Mohanam Atmanaha. But this Sukham is a deluding Sukham. Actually it is not Sukham, but this fellow thinks it is Sukham. Actually it is Dukkham only. But he doesn't have the sensitivity to understand that it is Dukkham. He thinks it is Sukham only. So what is the cause of this Sukham? Is it Vishayendriya Sanyoga? No. Is there any Vishaya involved? No. It is, see, the Sāttvic Sukham is almost like Sāttvic Sukham only. Vishaya is not involved. Then how is he getting this? So here examples are given. Nidra alasya pramada. Nidra. What is Nidra? Sleep. This joy, the joy of sleep. So in the beginning also it is Sukham only. In the end also, of course it is Sukham. Who can deny it? So what does he do? He tries to extend this Nidra Sukham. Because this is the only Sukham a tamasic person knows. He doesn't know the Sukham of hard work. Hard work also has a Sukham. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know the Sāttvic Sukham of meditation. The only Sukham he knows is the Sukham of Nidra, sleep. And he thinks this is the real way of happiness. So what will he do in his life? He will try to maximize Nidra Sukham. He will not get up from his bed. Yesterday also we were discussing this. He will lie down there as much as possible, squeezing out maximum Nidra Sukham from the body. Nidra. Okay. So what is his definition of happiness? Sleep is happiness. But the problem is all the time you can't sleep. The body is designed in such a way that after some time you just cannot sleep. You may lie down. Then what will you do? The second one is alasya. So he also has a list, If Nidra Sukham is not there, at least the second one I must have. What is the second one? Alasya Sukham. What is Alasya Sukham? The joy of laziness. There is a joy. Not working, relaxing. In the modern times it is called chill out. Chill. Chill, man. Right. Alasya Sukham. There is a joy, no doubt about it. When you relax, there is a joy. Now he thinks this is the source of joy. So if Nidra Sukham is not there, at least Alasya Sukham I must have. Never take any responsibility. Never do any work. As much as possible, relax. Don't do anything. So he'll be very, very happy if there is minimum work, maximum wage. He's searching for such kind of job. Right? But Mother Nature is also very intelligent. She knows such specimens are there in the society. So what has she done? She has kept two instincts in us. What are they? Hunger and thirst. Now what will you do when there is hunger? Nobody will just come and feed you. You have to work. Therefore, this fellow works. Otherwise, he has absolutely no interest in work. He works because there is hunger. And once he gets, 1 day wage, that's it. Next day he'll be sleeping. And what kind of work he will turn out? Third-rate, shabby work, because he is not interested. So you'll have to be constantly behind him. Something and all he will do. So you have to correct him again and again. One rajasic person has to be above him. A rajasic person has to be there above a tamasic person. So Mother Nature has made all arrangements in this world. Such tamasic fellow has to work under such a rajasic fellow who may be a workaholic person and sees to that everybody is working. So under him this fellow has no choice. He has to work. But when the boss is not there, he will sit in a corner and take out his beedi. This is a typical nature of a tamasic person. This is called as alasya. When the boss comes, immediately he will start making sound as though he is very busy. So this is the second joy. Alasya means what? Laziness at the physical level. And third one is pramada. What is pramada? Carelessness. What is carelessness? Absence of care. What is absence of care? This is laziness at the mind level. Paying attention also is an effort. Concentration is an effort. So whenever you have to do something well, you have to pay attention. As far as this lazy fellow is concerned, even that paying attention is a pain. So that state of mind which is careless, which is inadvertent, which is lazy, that laziness of the mind is called pramada. Laziness of the body is called alasya. Laziness of the mind. He just doesn't want to pay attention to anything, because paying attention also is a strain in the mind. Now there is a sukhaṁ. That sukhaṁ is called tamasic sukhaṁ. So sukhaṁ of relaxation, sukhaṁ of laziness, sukhaṁ of nidra. This is called as tamasic sukhaṁ. He thinks it is sukhaṁ, but Bhagavan says it is mohanam, it is deluding. Such a person never attains anything in life. So we have to give it up. Right. So the worst is tamasic sukhaṁ. Better than that is rajasic sukhaṁ, and the best is Sāttvic sukhaṁ. Suppose a Sāttvic person stumbles across rajasic sukhaṁ, what happens to him? After indulging, there is guilt. When he stumbles, sometimes such things happen. Mind is in the rajasic state, then even the Sāttvic person does all rajasic activity. After that, what happens is there is guilt. So guilt is generally for Sāttvic people only. Because you need sensitivity to know that you are losing something, when you are indulging in such pleasures. Right. Right. So these three sukhams we have discussed. Now what does Bhagavan say? Bhagavan, is it possible to make 100% Sāttvic everything? So Bhagavan says this is impossible. Verse number 40. न तदस्ति पृथिव्यां वा दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः सत्त्वं प्रकृतिजैर्मुक्तं यदेभिः स्यात् त्रिभिर्गुणैः न तदस्ति पृथिव्यां वा दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः सत्त्वं प्रकृतिजैर्मुक्तं यदेभिः स्यात् त्रिभिर्गुणैः. Such a being does not exist. Na tadasti. Sattvam, a being. Such a being doesn't exist. Where? Prithivyam or Diviva. Either in this Prithvi or in the heavens. Upon this earth or in the heavens. Deveshu, among divine beings also. Devatas. There is no such person who is free from muktam. Prakriti gunaihi muktam. Tribir gunaihi muktam. The one who is free from these three gunas. There is nobody in this world. Every jivatma is a mix of these three gunas. So in all of us, we have all these three gunas. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Yes, the proportion may vary, that's all. But all the three are present in all of us. Right? So, what does it mean? It means you cannot make your mind 100% pure. It can be a shocking statement. Mind cannot be made 100% pure. Just like the body cannot be made 100% healthy. Do you accept this? Body cannot be made 100% healthy. Not possible. There will be some or the other problems. And there can be millions of problems. You just see the Google, you will know what all kinds of diseases are possible in this body. It's a huge list. Just like the body cannot be 100% healthy, mind also cannot be 100% pure. Then what is the goal? The goal is comparatively pure you make the mind and detach that mind. This is what spirituality asks us to do. Disidentification is what has to be done. But you can't disidentify an impure mind, so therefore karma yoga is done to purify the mind. When we are saying purifying the mind, don't think that it is 100% purity. It is not possible. So once the mind has achieved, as Gurudev says, 80% purity, then after that the effort is to detach, disidentify. So whoever that person may be, he cannot have 100% purity of mind. Not possible. The final stage is not purification, the final stage is disidentification. That is what we do at the seat of meditation. That sadhana we will see later. So at present, the focus is on karma sadhana. Now, Bhagavan takes up a new topic, a very interesting topic. What is this topic? So till now, our focus was how to improve the quality of our action. So if you improve the quality of jnanam, knowledge, quality of action can be improved. Then, what else? Karma, then karta, then buddhi, right thinking, then dhriti, then sukhaṁ. How many topics? 6. 6 topics we have discussed. These are all regarding improving the quality of our action. Now the question is, what action should I do? What is my duty in the society? This is the next topic. So Bhagavan says, I have created 4 varnas based on the duties. This is the topic now. So let us chant the next verse, verse number 41. Brahmana kshatriya visham Shudranam cha parantapa Karmani pravibhaktani स्वभावप्रभवैर्गुणैः ब्राह्मणक्षत्रियविशां शूद्राणां च परन्तप कर्माणि प्रविभक्तानि स्वभावप्रभवैर्गुणैः based on swabhava-prabhavair-gunaihi, based on swabhava, tendencies, samskaras, inclinations, vasanas. Bhagavan says duties are divided among these four. Who are these four? So the four varnas are mentioned here. Castes. What are the castes? Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. So based on the inherent tendencies, duties are different. Right? Basic division is four. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Now this is a very controversial topic, so therefore you have to understand what it is very clearly. It's a controversial topic because very many times, people criticize Hinduism because they have this caste system. Caste system is not there in any other religion. So they say all problems are because of this caste system. Here Bhagavan is saying, Chaturvarnyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagashaha. Bhagavan says, I have created all these four. And in every country these four people are there. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. So in Brahmana what is predominant? Sattva is predominant. Next comes Rajas. Next comes Tamas. So SRT combination. That is Brahmana. What about Kshatriya? RST. Rajas is predominant. Then comes Sattva. RST. That is Kshatriya. What about Vaishya? RTS. First Rajas, then Tamas, Sattva is last. And the last one is Shudra. What is Shudra? TRS. Tamas first, Rajas next, then last is Sattva. So now Bhagavan says, I only have divided people in these four. So now what is the duty of a Brahmana? That is the next verse. So these information, they are very, very useful for all of us. Verse number 42. Shamo damastapasyaucham kshantirarjavamevacha jnanam vijnanamastikyam brahma karma svabhavajam shamo damastapasyaucham kshantirarjavamevacha jnanam vijnanamastikyam brahma karma svabhavajam. Yes, for a Brahmana these are svabhavajam, natural. It is there in his genes. So what is it? Shamaha, control over the mind, quietude of the mind. It is natural to him. Damaha, control of the sense organs. Tapaha, austerity. Sharirika, Kaika, Vachika. We have discussed it earlier. Tapas. Shaucham, purity. Mental purity, physical purity. Kshantihi. Kshanti means forgiveness. Kshanti also means patience. All these things are natural to him. Arjavam, straightforwardness. Jnanam, knowledge. Vijnanam, experiential knowledge. It is not just information, he has experienced it also. Vijnanam. Astikyam, faith. Faith in what? Faith in God. faith in scriptures, faith in Vedas, etc. It is natural to him. Right? Now if you see, all these are nothing but values. But what is said here? It is Brahma Karma. There is no karma here. There is no duty mentioned here. It's all a series of values. We will discuss the whole thing first. We will go through all the four and then the whole thing we can discuss. Right? So they are all the noble values of life. So Brahmana is characteristic. His characteristic is he is a noble person. He is a pure-hearted person. Okay, what about Kshatriya? Verse number 43. Shauryam tejo dhrutir dakshyam yuddhe chapya palayanam danamishvara bhavascha kshatram karma svabhavajam shauryam tejo dhrutir dakshyam yuddhe chapya palayanam danamishvara bhavascha kshatram karma svabhavajam. Yes, for a Kshatriya, what is natural to him? Shauryam, heroism, valor, courage. Tejaha, Tejaha means what? Boldness, being bold, not bowing down in front of the enemy. The enemy may be strong, but even then, that tendency not to bow down, even in front of a strong enemy, that's called as Tejas. Dhrutihi, fortitude, willpower. Dakshyam is a daksha. Daksha means very, dexterous. When a situation comes, immediately he is able to take decision and act on it. That dakshata is called dakshyam. And then yuddhe cha api apalayanam. He never retreats from battle. Either he will win or he will die fighting. The third option is not there. What is the third option? Running away from battlefield. That is not there at all. Right. Yuddhe chapya palayanam. Then danam. He is a charitable person. He gives. Ishvara bhavaha. Ishvara bhava means lordliness. What is lordliness? In today's language, leadership qualities. Ishvara bhava means to rule others. This is natural to him. Those leadership qualities are natural to him. Ishvara bhavaha. Kshatram karma svabhavajam. So when these qualities are seen in a person, that person has to be identified as Kshatriya. Right. Okay. Now the next one, Vaishya and Shudra, verse number 44. Krishi Gaurakshya Vanijyam Vaishya Karma Svabhavajam Paricharyatmakam Karma Shudrasyapi Svabhavajam Krishi Gaurakshya Vanijyam Vaishya Karma Svabhavajam Paricharyatmakam Karma Shudrasyapi Svabhavajam. So what is Vaishya Karma? Krishi, agriculture. Gaurakshya, rearing cattle, cows, etc., taking care of cows. Vanijyam, business. Vaishya Karma Svabhavajam. For a Vaishya, These things are very natural. Business is in his blood. Then understand he is a Vaishya. What about Shudra? Paricharyatmakam karma. As far as the Shudra is concerned, he doesn't have that, what you call, Brahmana qualities or the leadership qualities of these Kshatriyas or the business, what you call, inclination of the Vaishyas. So since he doesn't have all this, he is asked to do Paricharyatmakam karma. He has to serve the other three. Paricharya means to serve. Service. This is Shudra karma. Right. He has to obey the orders of others and just do what they ask him to do. This is Shudra karma. Now, with respect to karma, which is the superior one and which is the inferior one? We may be tempted to say this Brahmana karma is superior, but no. All karmas are equal. Karma wise. Because in the society, all these people are needed. We need think tanks, the Brahmanas, who can do research and find out, that is needed. We need leaders, the executives, who can inspire others to work, the Kshatriyas, is needed. Of course, Kshatriya generally we think soldiers and army people, etc. That is also true. They are also needed. Right? And we need Vaishyas also, who can generate wealth in the society. That's also essential. And we need Shudras also, who can really work. All these buildings, roads, etc., they are constructed by the Shudras, those who are physically strong and who physically do the real work, the labor work. All of them are important. So karma wise, all are equal. Right? This we have to understand. But guna wise, who is superior, who is inferior? Guna means what? Based on sattva, rajas and tamas. So what is the nature of sattva? Purity, mental purity. That is sattva. Rajas is action. Tamas is inaction. So with respect to the gunas, who is superior? No doubt about it, Brahmana is superior. A person who has a pure mind, he alone is superior. Right. Why he is superior? Because the qualification necessary to realize God is purity of mind. So a person who is virtuous, that person is worshipful, because he is very near to God. So that way Guna Brahmana is the highest. Next comes Guna Kshatriya, then comes Guna Vaishya, then comes Guna Shudra. With respect to Gunas, Brahmanas are the highest. Okay, with respect to Jati, by birth also all are equal. By karma also all are equal. You can't say Jati Brahmana is superior. No. Just because you are born in a Brahmana family doesn't mean that you are worshipful. No. You have to exhibit divine qualities. The Sāttvic qualities. If these qualities are not there, just by by being born in a Brahmana family, you don't become a Brahmana. So it is the guna which is the most important. And the question is, you need not be a Jati Brahmana to become Sāttvic. You need not be a Karma Brahmana to become a Sāttvic, because every action, now that is the topic which Bhagavan is going to take up next. In whichever profession you are, everywhere you have the scope to increase the sattva content in you. There is a scope for purification of mind. Every work, when any work is done as Ishvara Puja, worship of the Lord, that action will purify you, and then what happens? Even the Jati Shudra can become a Guna Brahmana. Even a Karma Shudra can become a Guna Brahmana, because Guna is nothing but the purity of mind. This purity of mind can be achieved through any duty, performing any of this. This is a topic which comes next. Now there is another important topic which we have to discuss, that is, what is the purpose of this caste system? In the first place, why is it there? Because today it's a big problem. Why can't we just wipe it away? In the first place, why did this Vedic tradition have this caste system? This topic is very important. Right? This clarity has to be there. Otherwise, we'll have problems. Now the time is up, so we'll take up that topic tomorrow. Right. Kripa karo Hari Narayana, Daya karo he Jagavandana, Kripa karo Hari Narayana, Bhavatita Bhagya Vidhata, Dīnanātha Nath ke Natha, Kripa karo Hari Narayana, Mayatita Jnana Pradata, Dīnanātha Nath ke Natha, Kripa karo Hari Narayana, Daya karo he Jagavandana, Daya Kripa karo Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Duḥkha Bhag Bhavet, Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.